Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Alvord Unified School District Board meeting for June 17, 2021. Calling this meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. At approximately 8:30 p.m., the Board of Education will determine which of the remaining agenda items can be considered and acted upon prior to 9 p.m. and may continue all other items on which additional time is required until a future meeting. All meetings are scheduled to end no later than 9 p.m. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So on to public comment. As authorized by Governor Newsom's Executive Order N-2920, dated March 17, 2020, the Alvord Unified School District will conduct all meetings of the governing board via teleconference until further notice. The meetings will be conducted via Zoom. Spanish simultaneous interpretation is available via the Zoom platform. All meetings may also be viewed live on our district YouTube channel on the day of the meeting and are recorded to be viewed subsequently after the meeting. Pursuant to Executive Order N-2920, the governing board will take public comment. All public comments must be submitted in writing in advance of the meeting. Please submit your written public comments to superintendent@alvordschools.org no later than 9 a.m. on June 17, 2021. During the governing board meeting, written public comments received in a timely manner will be read for the governing board. Pursuant to Board Bylaw 9323, public comment period will be limited to 20 minutes. Duplicate public comments will not be read during the meeting. However, all written public comments will be provided to the governing board in advance of the meeting. At this time, do we have any public comment?
We do not, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. In that case, we'll move on to, there's no updates today, so move on to Board of Education and Superintendent comments. Trustee Schwant, if you want to go first.
Comments already, wow. I should get ready. I did just a couple of quick ones, really. One is the summer school credit recovery program going on in our high schools. Had the opportunity to get some feedback from some administrators and also a teacher and a couple of students, how smoothly they believe it's been working. So congratulations to everybody involved. Alan, you and your team, pulling this together from something we haven't been doing a lot of recent years to what it's doing now. And it's going to help our students, obviously, with the learning loss situation, their credit recovery, but helps them get a good start for next year. So congratulations on what's happening there. Second thing is, I've been encouraged by feedback sources. So it seems to me, I'm not sure how the other board members are faring with this, more people are talking about what they like about Alvord and what's happening within Alvord and the students they see within Alvord, and as all the type of branding things we have talked about. The more we do, the more we say, the better we act, the more we're involved. All that leads to a better district, and it looks like it's getting out there from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. So congratulations to everybody in the district and what's going on. And just a third one, a real quick one, we're gonna see it later, but it's gonna get past us. What will that be? The gift section of our agenda tonight. There's a special person that's gifting over to the Norte Vista Avid Meta Scholarship Program. Our president, Lizeth Vega.
Yay!
Thank you, Lizeth. It's always heartwarming to know it's not just doing a job and getting through that part of it, but personally helping others and the way you're doing it. So thank you, Lizeth. Appreciate it. That's it.
Thank you, Trustee Schwant. I totally forgot that was going to be on the agenda tonight. Trustee Wilson.
Okay, just real quick, I just wanted to thank everybody yesterday for the workshop. It was the budget and Lcap workshop, and it was phenomenal. It was probably one of the best workshops that I've ever attended, being a board member. And so I thank both teams, the fiscal team and the Emily DeVore, Dr. DeVore's team. It was phenomenal, and it was so educational for us. And so I thank you very much. We know you put a lot of hard work into it, but we appreciate it. And it was incredible. Thank you very much. I know all the other board members are going to thank you too. So it's exciting. And then also I just want to give a shout out to Kevin Emmaker. I know he's off camera, but he's been nothing but stellar and fabulous and wonderful. He's been helping me with where Albert Cares is having a big event on July 17th. Everybody knows about it. It's going to be wonderful. But Kevin has just stepped up and his team have done so, I mean, above and beyond. I don't know how I'm ever going to thank these gentlemen, but they are running and we're getting all these wonderful donations. And I promise you that your team, we will find something very special for your team. I know we still have a month to go. So Kevin's, and we're still trying to find room for to store things, but Kevin, from the bottom of my heart and the entire committee of Albert Cares and the Albert family, I thank you because you're the one that is scheduling and getting people out to pick up the donations and things like that and storing them and sending me pictures and things like that. So I mean it, you are a rock star and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so very much. And so does the entire committee. We will not be able to pull off July 17th without Kevin and his team. Absolutely not.
July 17th is a long ways away. We're just, I feel like we're not even halfway there yet. So,
Yeah.
but thank you very much. And again, it's not just me, it's a full team. And there's a big group of us that are pulling all this stuff together and getting it to its location and hopefully make that 17th event a big success for the district and Albert Cares.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Well, you're organizing the whole thing on that end. So I thank you again. Yeah. And that's really all I have. Again, everybody enjoy your summer. I hope you're out there. I see that we don't have a whole lot of attendees in the waiting room. So I hope you're enjoying this wonderful weather and sitting out by the pool. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee Wilson. I'm sure everyone's on, or a lot of people are on vacation right now.
I think they are.
Trustee Morena.
Get unmuted here. Thank you so much. I definitely share the sentiments of my colleagues to give a sincere thank you to both Dusty Navette and her team in fiscal, as well as Dr. Emily DeVore and her team putting together our study session yesterday. You knew that time, energy, and love went into it. So thank you so much for taking what can be such a complex system, right? Budgets are never easy, especially at the magnitude that ours is, as well as the Lcap in understanding. And with the grace that was shown to the board yesterday, we were all able to walk out of there feeling much more confident in our decisions as we move forward in playing a major piece, because everything was a Lego building scenario, which is so important. And as the board and superintendent have spoken, this is a time to build. And I appreciate all of the visuals, but mostly the hard work that went into putting that together so that we can go on and feel very confident with decisions that we make. As we all know, the Board of Education is as good as the information that we are given. And it's very important that that information be as forthcoming as possible. And I thank you, because we definitely know the questions to ask, and you are always so kind as to make sure to answer them. So I appreciate that. With that, we received an email from Mr. Craig Shiflett in regards to all of the wonderful things that are happening over at Alvord Adult Ed and our CTE programs, kind of like an end of the year summary of what's been going on. And there's some great stuff happening. And I know Dr. Musarino, you shared the transition programs garden in your roundup the last week, and it was wonderful to just read his email and the pride that he had in sharing the good stuff that's happening over there. Few things that popped out were Isai Perez signing on to a 4-year apprenticeship with the CW Regional Carpenters Union. That's a big deal, y'all. And I know, Dr. Musarino, you know unions very well, given your family history. It's a big deal for our students to be able to have such an exciting opportunity right out of high school, as well as the CTE programs. But there was one that stood out, which a little Alondra, she started making a bench in wood shop at Wells Middle School. And then the pandemic hit. And to be able to read that as soon as doors were able to open again through the hard work and dedication of our teams, she was able to complete that bench. And there was nothing more suited into how this pandemic has taken us full circle than to see this young lady start, take a pause, but never give up and continue until it was finished. So I thank every single one of us and every single one of you who believed that that was possible, because Alondra showed that perseverance and dedication, you will finish. And she did a wonderful job. So thank you, Mr. Shiflett, for sharing that. And with that, enjoy your summer, everyone out there. Summer school, continue to come into that summer academy. Great stuff is happening. Trustee Schwant, you nailed that one when you said amazing things. Feedback has been positive. So thank you so much. And with that, I will turn it over to you, President Vega.
Thank you, Trustee Moreno. Trustee Dorado.
Thank you, President Vega. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Well, this evening, hopefully everybody's staying cool. I know we've had heat waves, right? Heat waves all week long. So I know we're definitely staying cool here in Casa Dorado, so trying to stay cool today. But I wanted to let everybody know that if you hadn't heard, right, we were all kind of talking about it recently. It was announced that Juneteenth is an official federal holiday moving forward. So I just think that's noteworthy, and mentioning that it's so important to recognize that slavery, was ended, or slaves were freed, and it's good that our nation will now be recognizing it, and it's a federal holiday. Also, I wanted to comment on the budget and LCAP meeting we had yesterday, the workshop. It was beautifully presented and professionally presented with dedication and in-depth information by the team of Dusty Navet and Dr. Emily DeVore. We were very pleased, and I have to take Trustee Wilson's words on this being the best presentation workshop they've ever been to, because I think I was very impressed, but hearing it from Trustee Wilson that this is one of the best, I wanted to commend the team for all that hard work. It definitely made our interpretation of the information a lot smoother, and it allows us to follow when we take action on adopting these reports more easily. And for the CTE program, I do get those Craig Shiflett end of the year reports. So Trustee Moreno, thank you for mentioning that. It's just such a dedicated staff over there. So I'm always impressed to hear how much is being done in the CTE realm under that continuation program and adult program. So I'm really proud of them over there too. And with that, I just wanted to say stay cool. I'm sure, I don't know if Trustee Vega has any announcements from the city. I know they usually announce like stay cool, around the city. I know maybe in our trustee areas, we have some places that you can go visit to stay cool this summer. But with that, I just want to say we'll see you next month, and thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Dorado. You read my mind. I do have information about the cool centers that the city of Riverside has. We use our community centers, so they'll be open Monday through Friday from 11 to 5 p.m. on days that the temperature reaches 97 degrees or higher. And the ones in our community are Lanza and then the La Sierra Community Center, so at Bryant Park and the center. So if it ever gets too hot, please visit the cool centers. Also, a couple of things. Just a reminder that I am a delegate assembly for this region. And so when I forgot to mention last month that I was at the conference, and a couple of things is that we're finally going to have our annual conference in person in December.
Oh, wow.
So we'll be going to, if the board members would like, go to that, but if not, there's also there'll be a virtual one the week after the in-person. And then recently I was in a meeting with our superintendent of Riverside County Schools, and they're starting a couple of initiatives, and one of them is financial literacy, which I think is very important. I think our students right after high school, they might not know about, how to apply for a credit card, or, they get into debt, and then with school, getting loans, and that's money you have to pay back, and they don't always know about that. So giving our students, a head start and teaching them from the very beginning, what to do once they're out of high school is very important. I know a lot of students, at least when I was in high school, mentioned that they'd rather know about budgeting and, taxes and how to do all that, and instead of all the math, but it's a different story. Another thing is I want to give a thank you to our, for yesterday's board workshop that we had. Just like everyone said, it was amazing. It is one of the best workshops that I've been to, and just being in person too, and seeing everyone there, not in these little boxes, and getting to meet Dusty's team. They're wonderful, and it was just nice to see everyone in person. I also, just to kind of end things, is I know that even throughout the year for COVID, we've been thanking our staff, our employees, everybody, our families, and because they've done an amazing job throughout this year. But I just want to thank my colleagues on the board, because at the end of the day, it does start with us. And I know with other districts, it was different, but we stayed strong, and we communicated consistently. Thank you, Dr. Masurino, for your leadership, and everybody else on cabinet. So just thank you. We could not have done this without each other, and I know our team is strong, and we're going to continue to do great things for our kids.
Absolutely.
So I think that ends my comments, and I hope everyone has a wonderful summer and vacation.
Can I just add one more thing
Yes.
before we go to the superintendents? I forgot. There's a big birthday today, and I just wanted to wish Miss Beth Schwant a very happy birthday. And I know the board would all want to say hello and happy birthday to Beth Schwant. So Beth, we love you, and we thank you for everything you've given to Alvord and to the students, and how you fill our souls with your music and all your beautiful, beautiful wonderness. So thank you very much, and happy birthday, Beth, from the Board of Education.
Yay. Okay. So Dr. Masurino?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Madam President. I do believe we have some audio problems, and we are working on those. So hopefully everyone could hear and didn't miss out on those wonderful comments by my fellow governance team members. And I'd like to echo all those sentiments all the way from start to finish. And the presentation, the workshop yesterday was really the result of the board being just extremely interested in every step along the way of the budgeting process, and Dusty did a wonderful job, and Dr. DeVore and Dr. Kemp and her team as well presenting, and it was done in a way that I think a couple trustees mentioned was clearly there was a lot of love behind it, a lot of caring, and I think it shows when there's a lot of heart behind anything. And we are educators, and everything we do should be with heart. Mind the mind, but it's the heart that is where the passion resides. And we've had a interesting year this year that has been all about heart. It's been all about grace. It's been all about people. Our industry, everything we do as educators is always about people. This year, we all had an opportunity to see people in a different way, through a different lens. And I'm so proud of all of the work of the school board, our community, our staff, our labor partners. Everyone have been absolutely incredible this year to get us to this place where we are now. And now more work begins, because this is the work now that is going to be the most challenging, because we don't know exactly what to expect. So we are now working very diligently in preparing our learning loss plan. We are diligently preparing exactly how it is that we're going to address the social, emotional, and academic needs of our children. And that's how we're spending our summer. So we're excited about that. thank you again, governance team members, for all the support. We appreciate it, and it's wonderful moving forward together. With that, Madam President, I'll hand it back over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Musarino. Okay, so that leads us to our consent agenda. Your superintendent recommends approval of consent agenda items 7A1 through 7E3. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted upon by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent agenda. Are there any items? No? In that case,
Seth, I do have one. Just to comment on, it would be 7B20. I think it's Davis Demographics.
You said it was 7B, what was it?
20.
20. Okay. All right. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay. So first, trustee Wilson, second, trustee Schwant, and then 7B20.
Yes, Davis Demographics. I just had a chance to read through it quickly. We've had them in the past where they've done the forecasting of our students, where they're going to be going, where they're going to be staying and moving around. Is there anything different in this one than what they provided in the past?
So one of the things that they've had to kind of adapt, like so many of us with COVID, is looking at this year as no other year before, and so when we looked at doing the projections, we had to kind of rethink all those other aspects of the year, and trying to figure out how best to project out what things might look like in future years. So it is a little different, yes, and hopefully next year things will get back on track on that. And but it's really was pretty difficult to project for based on what we saw with COVID, and then again, not just here at Alvord, not the state of California, but across the country, where that's Davis Demographics. They work all across the country, and they've seen some numbers shifting and things like that. So
does this include an opportunity for them to come talk to the board about what they're seeing and presenting something to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that typically is included in their fee structure. They really don't charge for it, and so every year when they do the report, that is something that they can kind of come and give some of the highlights, on the report, and kind of point out some areas where we need to be looking at in the future, as we're looking at declining enrollment, across the district, across different grade levels and things of that sort. So.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
So if there's no more discussion, then I'll go to vote. Trustee Schwant?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Moreno?
Aye.
Trustee Dorado?
Aye.
And myself is an aye. So consent passes. Moving on to our action items. 8A, report out any actions taken in closed session. Trustee Moreno?
Thank you so much, President Vega. We have quite a bit this evening. Let us start with the Board of Education did take action today in closed session in regards to expulsion cases, recommendations to enforce. Expulsion case number 2018-19-105. As recommended, 5-0 were the votes. Motion by Trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. We also took action in closed session in regards to recommendations to reinstate case number 2019-20-38. The vote was as recommended, 5-0. Motion was first by President Vega, seconded by Trustee Schwant. Next, we have the action in closed session in regards to expulsion cases, recommendations to readmit. These are quite a few, so bear with me. Expulsion case number 2018-19-0D3 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Vega, seconded by Trustee Schwant. Case number 2018-19-8 as recommended, vote was 5-0. Motion, President Vega, second, Trustee Schwant. Expulsion case number 2018-19-34 as recommended, the vote was 5-0. Motion, President Vega, seconded by Trustee Schwant. Expulsion case number 2018-19-37 as recommended, the vote was 5-0. Motion, Trustee Vega, seconded by Trustee Schwant. Expulsion case number 2018-19-73 as recommended, the vote 5-0. Motion, President Vega, seconded by Trustee Schwant. Expulsion case number 2019-20-1 as recommended, votes 5-0. Motion, President Vega, seconded by Trustee Schwant. We also have case number 2019-20-52 as recommended, vote 5-0. Motion by President Vega, seconded by Trustee Schwant. Case number 2019-20-58, also as recommended, 5-0. Motion, President Vega, seconded by Trustee Schwant. Board of Education also took action in closed session this evening regarding expulsion case recommendations to deny. Recommendations to deny case number 2016-17-0D1 as recommended, 5-0. Motion first, Ms. Wilson, seconded by Ms. Vega. Case number 2016-17-11 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2016-17-21 as recommended, vote 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2016-17-42 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Case number 2016-17-55 as recommended, vote 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Case number 2017-18-OD2 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Case number 2017-18-OD4 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Board of Education also took action, continuation of recommendations to deny. Case number 2017-18-12 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2017-18-27 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2017-18-70 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2017-18-74 as recommended, 5-0 vote. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number, we're only at page 2, please bear with me. Case number 2018-19-6 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2018-19-12 as recommended, 5-0. Motion, Trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case 2018-19-13 as recommended, vote 5-0. Motions, Trustee Wilson, and seconded President Vega. Continuation of recommendations to deny case number 2018-19-40 as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2018-19-44 as recommended is the vote 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2018-19-45. Vote was as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case 2018-19-51. Vote was as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, President Vega is the second. Expulsion case number 2018-19-55. As recommended was the vote 5-0. Also motion by trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Case number 2018-19-57. As recommended was the vote 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, second President Vega. Case number 2018-19-64. Vote was as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, second by President Vega. Case number 2018-19-69. As recommended was the vote 5-0. Again, motion trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Case number 2018-19-82. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, second President Vega. Expulsion case 2018-19-83. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, second President Vega. Case number 2018-19-98. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2018-19-99. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, second President Vega. Expulsion case 2018-19-104. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, second President Vega. Case number 2018-19-107. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion, trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Case number 2018-19-110. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2018-19-112. As recommended, the vote was 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, second President Vega. Case number 2018-19-118. As recommended is the vote 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2018-19-120. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2018-19-124. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motions with trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Case number 2019-20-OD2. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Case number 2019-20-2. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-3. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motions with trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-7. Vote is as recommended 5-0. Motions again with trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-8. Vote is 5-0 as recommended. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-23. Vote is 5-0 as recommended. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-25. Vote is 5-0 as recommended. Trustee Wilson was the first motion, seconded by President Vega. Case number 2019-20-26. Vote is as recommended, 5-0. Motion from trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-37. Vote is as recommended, 5-0. Motion President Vega, seconded by trustee Wilson. Expulsion case number 2019-20-39. Vote is as recommended, 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-40. Vote is as recommended, 5-0. Motion trustee Wilson, seconded President Vega. Whew, almost there. Expulsion case number 2019-20-44. As recommended, the vote 5-0. Motions with Wilson, second by Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-47. Vote is as recommended, 5-0. Motions by Wilson, seconded by Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-49. Vote is 5-0 as recommended. Motions by trustee Wilson, seconded by President Vega. Expulsion case number 2019-20-55. Vote is 5-0 as recommended. Motions trustee Wilson, second by President Vega. Case number 2019-20-59. As recommended, vote 5-0. Motions by trustee Wilson, second by President Vega. And lastly, expulsion case number 2020-2021 OD2. Vote is 5-0 as recommended. Motions by Carolyn Wilson and Lizette Vega. The last item from this evening's closed session. The Board of Education took action in closed session on June 17th of 2021 to approve the issuance of a 45-day notice of unprofessional conduct and a 90-day notice of unsatisfactory performance to a certificated employee. The vote was 5 aye, 0 no, with 0 abstaining and 0 absent. That concludes all action taken in closed session, President Vega.
Thank you so much, trustee Moreno. And I feel like you already spoke most of the time. If you want to finish the meeting, I happily, I'm messing up.
Some water, thank you.
Okay, so moving on to our next action items. 8B1, review and approve 2021-2022 institutional memberships. May I have a motion?
So moved.
First, trustee Schwant. Second, trustee Wilson. Any discussion? No? Okay. Calling for a vote. Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to admin services, 8C1, adopt resolution number 57, special tax rates, community facilities district. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
First, trustee Moreno, second, trustee Schwant. Any discussion? No? Okay, going to vote. Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8C2, adopt resolution number 58, special tax rates, community facilities district. May I have a motion?
So moved.
First, trustee Moreno, second, trustee Schwant. Any discussion? No discussion? Okay, going to vote. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8C3, adopt resolution number 59, special tax rates, community facilities district. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
First, trustee Wilson, second, trustee Schwant. Any discussion? No? Okay, calling for a vote. Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado,
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Moving on to business services, 8D1. I didn't skip one, did I? No. 8D1, adopt resolution number 60, Driftwood Dairy piggyback for 2021-2022. May I have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
First trustee Moreno, second trustee Schwant. Any discussion? No? Okay. Calling for a vote. Trustee Moreno,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Schwant,
Aye.
trustee Dorado,
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8D2, approve contract Driftwood Dairy piggyback cooperative agreement for 2021-2022. May I have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
First trustee Moreno, second trustee Schwant. Any discussion? No? Okay. Going to vote. Trustee Dorado,
Aye.
trustee Moreno,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Schwant,
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8D3, approved contract Gold Star Foods, Inc., district-wide. May I have a motion?
So moved.
First trustee Schwant, second trustee Moreno. Any discussion? No? Okay. Trustee Schwant,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Moreno,
Aye.
trustee Dorado,
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8D4, approved contract Sunrise Produce, district-wide. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
First trustee Schwant, second trustee Moreno. Any discussion? No? Okay. Going to vote. Trustee Schwant,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Moreno,
Aye.
trustee Dorado,
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Moving on to 8D5, adopt resolution number 61, annual delegation of administrative authority to process routine budget revisions, adjustments, and transfers. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
First trustee Moreno, second trustee Schwant. Any discussion? No? Okay. Calling for a vote. Trustee Schwant,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Moreno,
Aye.
trustee Dorado,
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8D6, adopt resolution number 62, authorizing the establishment of Fund 8, Student Activity Special Revenue Fund. May I have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
First trustee Moreno, second trustee Schwant. Any discussion?
Is this the one that we were going to have Dusty talk about?
Next.
Next one. Okay,
Next one.
sorry.
Okay, no discussion then. I'll move to vote. Trustee Schwant,
Aye.
trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado,
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8D7, adopt resolution number 63, education protection account for fiscal year 2021-22. May I have a motion?
So moved.
First trustee Schwant,
Second.
second trustee Moreno. And yes, so Dusty, if you can please give us kind of a summary of what this is. I know we had some people ask questions.
I'm happy to. Thank you. The Education Protection Act is a component of the local control funding formula, which is generated from student attendance. When the voters of the state of California adopted the additional sales tax, they created this account in the state structure, and it is about 36% of our overall student attendance LCFF dollars. It is to be spent directly on instructional activities, and the attachment then does certify that we are meeting that requirement. It will be posted on our website, and this is for the 2021-22 school year. And when I bring adopted or unaudited actuals in September, I will bring the final numbers for 2020-21.
Thank you, Dusty. Does the board have any questions or comments? No? Okay, in that case, we'll go to vote. Trustee Schwant,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Moreno,
Aye.
trustee Dorado,
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8D8, adopt resolution number 64, temporary loan between funds for fiscal year 2021-22. May I have a motion?
So moved.
First
Second.
trustee Schwant, second trustee Moreno. Any discussion? No discussion. Okay, going on to vote. Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8D9, adopt 2021 through 2024 local control accountability plan. May I have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
First trustee Moreno, second trustee Wilson. Any discussion or questions? No? Okay, in that case, we'll go to vote. Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 8D10, adopt 2021-22 Auburn Unified School District proposed budget. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Schwant,
I'll second.
second trustee Wilson. Discussion, Desi, were you going to present or? Yes.
I do have a presentation
Okay.
at the board's pleasure. Okay. Let me key this up. All right, can everyone see that?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Good evening, President Vega, members of the board, cabinet, and audience. It's my pleasure this evening to present the 2021-22 proposed budget for Board of Education's approval this evening. Just to give you a proposed timeline, it is a requirement of school districts to adopt their budget by July 1st. Included in all of the documents that you see on the attachment are another look at our 2021 school year that's just finishing, our proposed budget for 21-22, multi-year projections or those estimates for the next 2 future school years, as well as a cash flow for 21-22 and the next school year. And then a criterion standards document that runs through different state standards to see if we are meeting them or if we are not, what those reasons are. And all of those answers have been provided. Due to the state budget not yet being adopted, I will be bringing back at the August board meeting a 45-day update to the information presented this evening. We always start with our students when we start building our budget. And so this graph represents our Seabeds and our enrollment projections, a 6-year time frame. So the current year and the past 2 years, as well as our proposed budget, 22-23 and 23-24. You will notice that our numbers for 2021 and 21-22 are very close to each other. We are anticipating that as we return to full in-person instruction that our kids will be there. We still are anticipating those declines in the next couple of years, as you can see that we have experienced in the past several years as well. That then translates to about a 95% student attendance or average daily attendance. We are paid for each day that kids come to school. And so these are the numbers from enrollment going down to what the actual students' attendance is anticipated to be. You'll notice again, we're presenting last 2 years, current year, the proposed budget year, and the 2 next years after that. 2021 and 21-22, because this is funded COLA, is exactly the same because the state has guaranteed us for 2 years our ADA that was for 19-20. You will notice a notable drop in 22-23. That is when our enrollment from this year lowers in 22-23 and directly affects the local control funding formula information that's coming forward. So the next couple of slides are going to just talk about 21-22. And as I mentioned on one of my first slides, we always present the finish of this current school year and what we're looking at for next school year. The most notable differences here is that our local control funding formula dollars, or that student attendance dollars, is anticipated to go up. There are a couple of cost of living adjustments built into these numbers. You also notice that federal dollars go down significantly, and that is because in 2021, we have spent out our CARES Act dollars, and those are not included in 21-22 because they were one-time dollars. This is a graphical representation of just the percentages and the total dollar amount. So obviously at over 200 million, we get most of our dollars, total general fund, from our student attendance. And then state dollars, local and federal, is represented as well. These are the dollars that we have received or anticipate to receive in a response to the coronavirus and the pandemic. So starting all the way back to when school closed back in March of 20, we received several pieces of federal dollars. I've represented both the dollar amount, how much we have spent to date, and when we need to fully spend those items by, and what the major use is. You'll notice that the third and fourth lines are CARES Act dollars, both at the federal and state level. Those both have been fully expended or will be by June 30th. The last two lines indicate the amounts that we will be receiving at this point in time for the next two levels of ESSER dollars, or the emergency response dollars from the federal government. And those are yet to be included in the budget because we don't have a plan on how they'll be spent yet. This is how we spent that 17 million and that 1.7 million, as well as some of the other federal dollars. We had new educators for our virtual academy, all of the distance learning that we did in 2021, one-to-one technology and Chromebooks, laptops for our students and our teachers, good air quality for our classrooms. We have handless water fountains, so the kids will be able to not have to hold different things and fill up their water bottles. Lots of personal protection equipment, student connectivity, and just those distance learning instructional materials. This page shows the expenditures for total general fund. So we have estimated actuals, again, how we believe that we will finish out this school year, coming out June 30th, where we're headed with 2021. You'll notice again some notable reductions directly related back to those federal dollars that are no longer included in the budget because they were one-time dollars from 2020-21. This is the proposed staffing included in our 2021 proposed budget. At the certificated level is shown on that left-hand side, and our classified service is included in, is shown on the right-hand side. And I've listed these in their activity of instruction or how they support our educational program. A budget is your educational program converted to dollars. This is the staffing that we have in the budget to support the entire educational program of the district. This graph shows that those same FTEs and in a graphical format, again, by that level of activity. And so we have 68% of our total budget related to positions is for our instructional purposes. We have pupil services at almost 10%, district administration at just a little over 3%, maintaining our facilities and grounds at almost 7%. This graph here shows those same dollars, but now as dollars related to the entire, not just staffing, but the entire budget for general fund. And so again, we represent over $171 million for the instructional program overall. This would then include all of the staffing as well as their supplies, any contract partners, utilities, insurance, all of those type of activities that are included in the proposed 21-22 general fund budget. This is then a representation of going back to not by activity, but to those levels of staffing, books, our professional development, utilities, all of those type of information. Also included in this overall budget is the Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant, which is over $20 million that will be spent over this 21-22 to mitigate learning loss, as well as to expand the instructional time that kids will spend in school in our 2021-22 year. What this then looks like is, as we bring forward those revenue amounts that I just showed you, those expenditure amounts, we do have a change in fund balance, and that is simply just the dollar amount over or under what we are bringing in. So revenue minus expense is the change in fund balance. It's also called deficit spending by the county office when they submit their letter to the Board of Education and the business office. Our beginning balance in 2021 is growing. We do have some savings there. In 21-22, we are then utilizing that carryover, and over 5 million of this is directly related to the ELO, or the Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant. Our required reserve is right around 7.7 million. And this is how that 34 million and that 26 million for the 2 years overall looks. So of the 34 million, 10 million of that is directly related to just restricted dollars. You'll see that's going down, and that again is that expanded learning opportunities grant. We are building a textbook account. So almost $2 million in 2021, growing to 2.8 in 21-22. And then dollars that are being held to address the change in fund balance or that deficit spending shown on the prior slide. As we build our budget, and as we explained in that budget workshop, we not only have to look at the current year that we're finishing, the year that we're getting ready to start, but we need to look ahead to a couple more years. And there's a lot of data and criteria that goes into what those numbers look like, or that MYP. As we call it. There are cost of living adjustments applied to the local control funding formula. So the state has proposed that they will fund a little bit more in the next 2 years for our student attendance. We do have those enrollment and ADA changes, as I showed you on the first couple of slides. All into this also is our unduplicated pupil count, as well as that percentage. And we are paid on a 3-year rolling average that right now is dropping a little bit each year. And so that directly impacts the allocations that we have for that Lcap budget that you just approved. There are some negotiated items like automatic step and column, health and welfare increases. All of those are all included and projected in the anticipated expenditures and revenues for both 22-23 as well as 23-24. There are some other expected items that we know about at this point in time. One of them is minimum wage increases. And so every January for the last 2 years, as well as the next couple of years, we do anticipate those increases. I include those in that multi-year so that we make sure that we are anticipating those increased costs. Our last CERP payment will be 22-23. And so when we look at 23-24, you will see a lowering of over $2 million for that last CERP payment. We do have quite a few projected increases to the overall fixed costs for salaries. For certificated, it's expected to go up another % in the following year. And for classified, we're going to be growing 2 and 3% over the next year. What this really translates to is if you look at that 37.90% number, it's for every dollar that we have for salaries for a classified individual, we pay almost 38 cents for fixed charges. And then we have health and welfare costs on top of that. I always include any one-time revenues or expenditures in whatever budget year is appropriate and then take them out the following year. You'll see that the expanded learning opportunity grant is taken out in 22-23 because it will be almost fully spent in our current the current school year that we're looking at doing. Remove any carryovers and then anticipate any increases to liability insurance, health costs, utilities, anything that we know about at that point in time. So this is what the revenues look like. So this slide looks very similar to the first one that I showed you, except it is now looking at our 21-22 year, building on that for 22-23, and then looking at those expected changes and building that on 23-24. So we go down again, we're losing enrollment in 22-23, so we're losing ADA. We have those reductions in both federal and state directly related to the expanded learning opportunities grant. And then we gain a little bit again in 23-24 because we will have a cost of living adjustment to our LCFF or student attendance revenues. This is what it looks like from an expenditure standpoint. And so overall, our expenditures for 21-22 are projected to be right around 257 million, grand total for general fund expenditures, going down to 246 million and then reducing again in 23-24. And a lot of that is driven by staffing or Lcap allocations directly related to revenues. Then that same slide that I shared that has revenue expenditures and looking at those ending balances, again, showing all of those 3 years. And very obviously, I have a mistake on the last column because we do not grow to 117 million. I apologize for that. I am sure it is 11 million, but I will
That's a
correct
good
that.
number. Keep that one.
I wish that was accurate, but I 100% know, and I apologize for having that error on the presentation. I will get that fixed. And so then this is what this looks like, exactly the same slide that I just showed you, but now looking at that 3-year representation. Again, we're building that textbook account by putting our mandated block grant dollars into that. So we've got just about 3.5 million projected in the next couple of years. We always maintain any donation accounts because they have a restricted purpose, as well as any other restricted dollars that might be held for instance, restricted lottery or some of those other expenditures that happen. Again, showing what our required reserve is, just right at that $7 million number. We do have other funds just that other than general fund. And so I've projected on the next 2 slides what those projected ending fund balances will look like as we finish out this 21-22 year, as well as looking forward to the proposed budget for 21-22. So those are projected there on these 2 individual slides. Because we put the budget together and build it and have it almost completed by the first part of May, there are always some things that we know are going to change down the road. And as I told you in the very first slide that I would be bringing back in August, what these changes were, these are the ones that I anticipate we'll be bringing forward to you. There is a discussion amongst the legislature to add another % to just our LCFF revenues. Not to state, not to federal, not to local, but just to LCFF. And so if that happens, I would be bringing back that additional 1% in August. There is also discussion about whether or not we will adjust the supplemental calculation as part of that local control funding formula. I have since learned there might be an adjustment to concentration. And so when those happen, I will bring those back. When we developed the budget, the Purge rate was projected to be 23%, and the Purge is for Public Employees Retirement System. That is for our classified service individuals. We now know it's going to be a little bit lower. Our STRS rate, or state teachers retirement, is actually going up by 1%. And we are holding our breath that the legislature will propose relief for unemployment. And so if you remember from the budget workshop, that was my little clear jar that had this single Lego on one side and multiple 12 or 13 Legos on the other side. This cost was over $2 million to the district. And so we are really hoping that the state will be providing some relief. And right now what they're talking about doing is bringing it back to that 0.05% for guaranteed for the next 2 years, 21-22 and 22-23. So if that happens, I will bring that back to you as well. So our next step is board action this evening to adopt the 21-22 proposed budget. In August, I will bring back that 45-day update as I explained. I would like to recommend, as I did at the budget workshop yesterday, that I come back to the board with a budget workshop for first interim prior to asking you to approve it in December. And then in January, we will have the governor's proposal for our 2022-23 school year. And in February, we will start budget development again to get us back to this point a year from now. And so with that, staff does recommend that you adopt the proposed budget as presented and direct me to submit it to the county office for review and approval. Is there any questions that I can answer?
No. Trustee, can you hear me? Just a comment. This is Trustee Dorado.
Yes.
So I noticed in your slide 18, I believe that's what it was. You had, the 3-year projection, and I know you mentioned it previously, but it's just noteworthy that our ESSERs are not on federal. They're not stated here either. So that's quite a bit of money compared to what we got federally before. When do we anticipate in your timeline that we would start working in those numbers into the projection?
That's a great question, Dr. Dorado, and I appreciate the opportunity to answer that. And so, yes, as I stated in one of the previous slides, we have about 18 million expected for ESSER 2 and a little over 40 million for ESSER 3. We are required to do a spending plan on that. And so until we can get together as a cabinet and a district and a board to decide how we want to utilize those dollars, I'm not an advocate for just including them until I know how they want to be spent. So we do have to have the spending plan put together by the end of September. So sometime between now and when we come back in that September timeframe, we'll be bringing back those spending plans and then the budget would be adjusted again.
Thank you. That's a good timeline for me to know, just because I was wondering when we would see those fall into the projections. And like I said, so these are federal dollars, so we have to anticipate there be restrictions, right, to how in our spending plan.
Yes, very, very specific. There are 15 items or categories that we can spend the ESSER $2 on. And so we need to make those decisions with board direction as to how you would like to spend those dollars.
And that is all. Thank you, Dusty.
You're welcome.
Dusty?
Yes.
What we have invested in this upcoming year is additional teachers to help with the learning loss and help with what we need to support our students to get better. How much does that amount to on an annual basis?
So great question. So the additional staff that we have brought in that in the 21-22 budget is being funded by the Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant. It's a little over $3 million for those additional 24 intervention, early literacy, and early numeracy teachers. And then if the board would like, then we have the opportunity to use ESSER $2 and ESSER 3 if we would like to continue that.
But it's about $3 million a year.
Correct.
Okay.
For those 24 positions.
And are they in these projections at all?
They are in the 21-22 proposed budget. They are not yet in the next 2 years.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And you could, oh. Okay, so no more questions or comments from the board? Okay, awesome. Just I think you did a great job yesterday. That we know. So thank you for that. Okay, in that case, we'll vote. Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to Human Resources. AE1, approve personnel order number 18-2020-2021. May I have a motion?
So moved.
First, Trustee Schwant.
I'll second.
Second, Trustee Wilson. Any discussion? No? Okay. Going to vote. Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to AE2, adopt resolution number 65, release of temporary employees. May I have a motion?
So moved.
First, Trustee Wilson, second, Trustee Schwant. Any discussion? No? Okay, going on to vote. Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. So motion passes. And our last item, agenda items for future board meetings. Does anybody have any item?
One item we talked about a little bit earlier, that's the Davis demographics, a presentation on our district and where the enrollment's going up and down by schools, I guess.
Okay.
And Madam President, if I may, I suggest we do that in the form of a budget workshop so that we could present the information, have a real deep dive into it, because it's really critical information as we move forward. Lots of changes, obviously, as a result of the pandemic.
Right.
Yes.
So take it off to future board meetings and have it as a workshop. So
Yeah,
I guess we
can have
don't
it
need,
as a future board workshop meeting. So we'll do that. And I also wanted to, I know we also approved our memberships tonight for CSBA. And I know there's a lot that CSBA does what they have a lot to offer. And so I would also like maybe a workshop on what all of those, what they have to offer, what all of those things are. Just because I know, even though I'm a delegate and I have the contacts to ask questions, but I want just the board to be fully informed in case anything comes up in the future. We can be like, oh, CSBA has that. We don't have to pay extra for anyone else. They already offer those services and we can use them. So, and I spoke to our pacer, Denise Lopez, and she's willing to come in and have that discussion, or someone from their membership department. So and I don't know if that would also be a workshop, or we can just include that as our in the discussion portion of the agenda.
Right. I think it just depends on how long it'll take. If it's appropriate for a board meeting, then I suggest you just have it as an item, a presentation. If it's going to be lengthier, then probably in the form of a special and a workshop.
Okay. Then I will work with CSBA on that. Okay, so if there's not anything else, then that's it. That adjourns our meeting for tonight. Enjoy your vacation, everyone. Yeah, that's the end of our school year officially. So meeting adjourned at 7:13 p.m.
All right.
Good night, everybody.